So as promised, part 2 of episode 7 of the comics my mom let me keep, the Amazing Spider-Man edition, and part 2 is my collection of John Romita Sr. copies. Stay tuned for the video.
Anachronic.
Hi comic book guys and gals, I'm Joe and welcome to Anachronic Comics. On the first part of this episode, I showed you my copies of Amazing Spider-Man that were put together by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. As I mentioned, Steve Ditko was the artist on the covers and the interior through issue number 38. Starting with issue number 39, John Romita Sr. took over. Now, interestingly, John Romita Sr. Drew covers and the interior through issue number 56. Now, in my collection, as you know, we moved from Manhattan to Staten Island in May of 1969. So most of the comics that my mom let me keep that I have shown in these episodes ended in 1969. And I thought Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man would be the same. I obviously have other issues that I bought subsequent to that, but May of 1969 was the cutoff date. For some reason, in my long box, one of the two long boxes that I have from that time, my issues stopped in 1967. So I'm not sure what happened to the others, unless for some reason I might have gotten rid of them as part of the comics that I threw out. I doubt it, but I can't find the issues subsequent to the 1967 issue. So let's get started. First one we have, let me get my glasses on so I can see them better. Okay. The first one we have is another comic that I think in some ways is considered to be iconic, and that would be number 39. This is the first John Romita Sr. cover and interior with Amazing Spider-Man. Now, one thing that John Romita Sr. did say in an interview on the Sci-Fi Wire a few years ago was that when he first took over, he attempted to draw Spider-Man as close to the way Steve Ditko drew it as he could. I think this is what Stan Lee wanted, because the idea behind it was that this is what the readers expected.
Remember, Steve Ditko had been doing Spider-Man magnificently, and then when he decided he didn't want to do any more Spider-Man, and we had to look around for, he was just tired of Spider-Man, we had to look around for another artist. Who did I pick? I figured, well, there's one guy I can always depend on, John Romita, and again, everybody said, John draws these handsome, heroic characters, these real macho-looking, great-looking guys, and here Peter Parker is just kind of a wimpy, nebbishy, nerdy kid, and you can't have John do that. He'll ruin the script. And Steve Ditko is so stylized, and John's style is so different. And I guess that's what's so really great about Steve. I said, I want him to do it. And you remember the first few strips you did, it really looked like Steve's artwork. I don't know how you did it.
Well, I was trying to go because frankly, between you and me, I thought I was only on it temporarily. Yeah. I thought he would come back.
I was
Did he tell you you were doing
too
too pretty stuff? The stuff was too pretty. You used to tell me.
More than once
doing
you told me
pretty
I
stuff.
did them too handsome.
Well, I had to keep you on the straight and narrow.
You finally gave up and said, okay, if that's the way you're going to do Peter Parker, let's do
Well,
Peter
you know
Parker.
what happened? No. Your first few were just like this.
Yeah.
Then you began to backslide. Then, in my infinite wisdom, I realized that nobody can do his best artwork or her best artwork unless the artist is doing it the way he or she wants to do it, the way he feels it. So I figured, okay, it's going to be your script. Little by little, we'll have to let you get into your style. It took a while. You were real good about it. You didn't immediately do a Romita.
You were a sport, too.
Yeah, but you slowly got into it. And how many issues did you do?
I did about 6 years. The only thing is you just sprinkle in a lot of other emergency projects. Captain America, Fantastic Four.
We couldn't have stayed in business without you. Anytime there was an emergency, call Romita, you know.
So John Romita Sr. indicated that he drew with brushes, which meant like more black, more shadows, you know, more contours and that type of thing. But Steve Ditko drew with a pen. So that for the first 7 or 8 or 9 issues that John Romita drew, so that would be going through, let's say, almost the first year, he used a pen. But then he started, after that, started using brushes more and more until he got to the point where Stan just told him, just do what you want to do. So he started doing that. So after issue number 56, he did draw some covers. He did plot out a number of the issues as well for others to complete drawing. So he wasn't completely divorced from it, but his full effort on Amazing Spider-Man only went through issue number 56. The next one is issue number 40. Clearly another iconic cover, Spidey Saves the Day, the End of the Green Goblin. Now, one of the characters that was developed during his run was the Rhino. This is the first appearance of the Rhino in issue number 41. I think it looks a lot better than the Rhino in the movie. Now this one, I remember what happened with this. This is issue number 42, and if you look at it, it's in very poor shape. As a matter of fact, it doesn't have a back, and part of a page is missing. I missed this issue when I was buying them, so I searched high and low for a copy because it was the issue where Mary Jane finally made her full appearance. She was in issue number 15 and some others and was mentioned, you saw her back. But here's where I finally got to see what she looked like, and she was a knockout. She was right. So I really wanted to get this. This is the only one I could find back then. I probably should look for another one if I could, even a low grade like the rest of my comics, to replace this. But at least I got that page with Mary Jane saying her iconic, face it, Tiger, you hit the jackpot. That was my whole purpose in getting this. Next was the follow-up of the Rhino, number 43. Next one was number 44, Return of the Lizard here. Next one, number 45, Spidey Smashes Out. One of the wildest of all Spidey's battles. Here's issue number 46. This is another new criminal, the Shocker, that was developed during John Romita's run. And John Romita was clear that he didn't make up these people, but he did say that Stan gave him wide latitude with respect to the plotting out the story and obviously drawing the new characters. Next one is number 47, Kraven the Hunter. Next one is number 48, The Vulture Returns. Next one is number 49, The Vulture and Kraven team up against Spidey here. And the next one, number 50, a super iconic cover, Spider-Man No More. And this introduces perhaps one of the most famous criminals for both Spider-Man and later on Daredevil, and that's Kingpin. In number 51, Kingpin makes his first cover appearance. And the last one that I have, again only a 1967 issue, is number 52, To Die a Hero. So I'm going to have to take a look. Maybe I put them somewhere else in another box, and so I'm going to look through them because I have a lot of Spider-Man boxes, mostly Spider-Man that I bought when I got back into comic collecting back in 2007. So I want to take a look and see if it might be in there, but those are the only ones I found. Now, in terms of annuals, Spider-Man number 3 is another comic my mom let me keep. In this one, there's a 23-page news story in the beginning where it was plotted and set out by John Romita Sr., but not completed by him. It was a Stan Lee story as well. So that's my Amazing Spider-Man run, the comics my mom let me keep, episode 7, part 2, the John Romita part, issue number 39 through 52, and the Amazing Spider-Man annual number 3. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be well, and I'll see you soon.